As we know, since the beginning of the pandemic, there has been a digital revolution in every sector of our economy. And as you know, our parliament has not been excluded in this transformation. A number of challenges arise from the digital transformation. However, for us, I want to keep this presentation very short in terms of getting to the point where what we did as a parliament to get into this digital transformation. In terms of our strategy, we were already working towards making all our work in progress in making all our services online and accessible through digitization. So on the eve of the pandemic, basically, we in Guyana, we had a shutdown. And then as we came back from that shutdown into Parliament, it wasn't that hard for us to actually move from physical sittings to virtual. But what we did as a parliament, we actually did a hybrid sitting, as you may call it, whereby at the parliament where we had in our chamber, where we had our seating arrangement and so on, we had a skeleton staff who would have been the controllers, and then the members of parliament joined virtually. This was easy for us because we already had our live streaming facilities set up within the chamber. So upon that, we were able just to patch into, we use services like Zoom and Microsoft Teams. The Teams, what we found with the Microsoft Teams was that it was a little high on resources, on internet resources, and some of our MPs who are out in outlying areas, their internet were basically from mobile devices, and they had a hard time in accessing the without interruption, basically. So that is what the Zoom actually worked better. So we end up using the Zoom, we patch into the Zoom, and we had a little glitches at starting and so on. You would have, some persons weren't hearing, some of the MPs were not tech savvy. So they had little issues with the mics on and off, and the camera were on or off, and so on, as I think some other parliaments might have encountered. So basically, our strategy going forward is that our parliament, our chamber, it's very small, and it houses 65 members of parliament, excluding staff and press and all of that. Currently, we are utilizing our conference center, which is another building from the original parliament, which is actually set up for conference, and it maintains a 6 feet distance and a lot of space and so on. So it was very easy for us to move into that building and keep our parliament there, our sittings. So our way forward is we have some proposals in terms of going back to our original building, which is kind of physically challenging because of the seating arrangement. So that is on hold in using the original building, but right now we are using the conference center in our country, which we can implement all the COVID-19 protocols and so on. Since everything is digitized, it is recorded digitally and everything, we don't have a problem transferring all our information, filing it, keeping it, doing our Hansards and all of that. It is yet to be discussed. In terms of our strategy, the strategy of our digitization is clear, whereby we know what we are doing in terms of that, but in terms of physical arrangement, that still poses a challenge for us. And we do not have anything personally in the future until it's discussed with a higher level at this moment in time. In terms of staffing and so on, we had to get some specialized staff. We had to hire some consultants to assist us in making the arrangements for the audios and patching into the Zoom and all of that. But for us, the staff, in terms of the specialists that we had to employ, they were readily available for us because we have a very simple setup in terms of using the Zoom, patching into and recording and all of that. Our system is robust that it could have actually patched into the Zoom and do our recording as per normal. So there again, we had no major challenges. So we actually had quite a few parliaments for the year already, and they went very, should say, about 90% effective, 95% effective in terms of recording and the glitches and all of that. Obviously, internet is very important. So from normally our internet was about 100 megs. We had to upgrade to about 400 megs. So that was quite an increase to facilitate everyone. And the equipment, well, we always use gigabit equipment, so we could have handled the capacity. Maybe a few changes, but nothing major. But basically, what we find very effective is a hybrid setting. The hybrid setting whereby we, as the IT or the technical group, is actually in the building, and maybe a few staff, maybe the speaker, the clerk of the National Assembly, and so on, who would be, we call it the base, and the other MPs, the members of parliament and other civil society and so on, who wish to join, they are all sent the link and they can join virtually. So we actually employ the hybrid setting, which is very effective for us. Yes, and that's basically it for us in a nutshell.